Hello, wonderful souls. Welcome to the Unmasked Masterclass. I am sure you're going to love whatever comes up in content, and this will be something that I'll be delivering on a regular basis. Of course, it will always be changed of some sort, depending on what download comes in. So, this is about unmasking. And first of all, we've got to figure out what mask we're actually wearing. So, we want to unmask the woman within, and we're going to get three keys to cover today for a little bit more clarity and a little bit more confidence in moving forward in your life. So thank you very much for joining me. The masterclass simply means that I'm just coming to you. There's not going to be any interaction. So if you pause the video and need to answer any questions, just make sure that you pause it and do that. And you can come back and revisit this anytime as well. Well, not anytime. It'll be up for 7 days for you to be able to do that. And then, of course, it actually goes into my vault. And if you'd like to work further with this, of course, you always can. And that's where you can join the 3-session unmasking and empowered experience. And so I'm welcoming you all here. And just a quick reminder to make sure you've got a pen, maybe a piece of paper, or if you're a computer typer, you've got something open. Make sure you've got a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and of course your essential water. It's best to do this in a really safe and quiet space where you can actually delve in and not have any distractions, so to speak. So turn the phone on silent, get your messages off ping notices, all that sort of stuff. So I just want to be thankful and grateful and very grounding, welcoming, and thank you for choosing you today. Coming into this space where we get to be a little bit real, we get to be a little bit raw, and of course we get to be held. And that is simply one nurturing thing that I like to do per day, is make sure that I'm holding support for people out there who need it. Now, I have got notes that I'm going to be looking at from time to time, and just so I can deliver you the best information possible. So what I want to do is set our intention for this masterclass, and our intention is to gently uncover what's ready to be seen and release what's ready to be freed and honor the woman within. And so this is something that you can do time and time again. And of course, when you actually join the program, you actually get this as part of forever. So you can have this download forever. At the moment, it's only going to be up for 7 days. So I would like you to just breathe in and take 3 deep breaths and hold it, and then breathing out. Good. I'm just going to take that light body-based breath in and just release it. 3 breaths is always the best to take. And taking another deep breath in and just dropping in to the present, to the now, and breathing out. Wonderful. So, wearing the mask. As women, we wear the mask plenty of times. Throughout our life, we've worn different masks, but even in a day, even in a morning, you can actually wear different masks. So sometimes you get up with a mask and you don't even know that you're wearing it. So it's about normalizing and bringing about that awareness that we could be wearing a mask. So what led me to doing this unmasked and bringing the masterclass to you on a regular basis is I woke up one day and I didn't recognize my own life. I was going through the motions, doing all the right things, working hard, staying small, keeping it together, at least on the outside. I told myself I should be grateful. Grateful for the job, grateful for the house, grateful for the relationship, even though I felt completely alone in it at times. And in this particular time, I had been feeling alone, but underneath it all, I felt like I was disappearing. I was a ghost in my own story. I was lonely in my marriage at that time. I disconnected from my body. I was ashamed of the way I lash out sometimes, and then I just collapse into silence and numb myself and not feel or embody. And then something happened. Of course, it wasn't a spiritual awakening. I've been awakened for quite some time. And it wasn't a dramatic turning point either. It was just a moment, just an ordinary moment when I couldn't hold it in anymore. I realized I had spent my whole life being who I thought I needed to be, the strong one, the capable one, the one who didn't make a fuss. I didn't know how to choose myself. Hell, I didn't even know who I was at that time. I had learned to read the room so well. I forgot how to read me. And that's what led me here, to this work, to this reclamation, to unmasked and empowered. And of course, it isn't just a program that I run. It's not a strategy, it's simply a return to the woman that I was before the world told me to be something else. I think it's such a powerful line, to be the woman you were before the world told you to be something else. And there's some recalibrations that happen that I found that strips away the noise. And the program's there to remind you of your power, your worth, your voice. And I'm always providing that private space where you can unravel, be seen, and rebuild from truth and not trauma. So if you found yourself, snapping at the people that you love, or crying at night for no logical reason, and trying to keep it all together while breaking apart inside, this is your soul, right? Calling you home. And it's not punishment, it's not failure, it's an invitation to stop calling your ache normal, to stop living on autopilot, and to finally choose you. And this kind of work changed everything for me, and it can for you as well. So it's not just for you, but for the generations that come after you. And I didn't just free myself, I freed my children from ever living the way that they used to, because it all ends with me. So does it end with you? And after sitting any masterclass with me at any time, of course, you can join me. And if you wanted to know a little bit about the Unmasked and Empowered program, that's 3 sessions. It's normally 555, but for the people come along to this today, it's only 222. So wonderful, again, to have you here, and we'll start the journey. So we're always doing the work on ourselves, and you've done the work, and yet sometimes it still feels like something's still missing. Something hasn't clicked in yet. And of course, that's not failure. You just keep going. It's your deeper self calling that something's missing. That's that deeper calling. And so we want to move through things about the safety to be seen, the mirror of relationships, which is coming up a lot for people right now, and embodying your truth. So I'm hoping that some of this lands. By all means, drop comments or emojis, whatever it is that's on YouTube these days. So what I want to talk about briefly, because we can't cover everything in a masterclass that goes for, just under an hour. And that is that I'm just going to touch on things just to spark the mind to actually have more awareness, shift your perspectives. So the safety to be seen. We don't, drop the mask because we don't want to. We drop it when it feels safe. So when we're safe, we can speak our truth. When we're feeling safe, we can drop the guard down, as people will even say. But that guard is a mask. So in your journal, you can write a question, And there'll be a PDF available for you if you'd like. I'll have it available to you. There'll be a button that you can click on and it'll go straight to a Google Doc and you can make a copy. However, the question is, where do I feel unsafe in my life to fully be seen or to be fully seen? So where do I still feel unsafe to be fully seen? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your workspace? Is it with a particular relationship? So not a romantic one, but a child relationship, a son or daughter relationship, a sister relationship, a brother relationship. Where do you still feel unsafe to be fully seen? So that is when you are fully you. Where do you feel unsafe? So pause the video if you need to and just really tap into that in your heart and ask yourself that question. Where do I still feel unsafe to be fully seen? And it's kind of like if you know that, you're with that best mate who just really gets you and you can have this full conversation with them and it's just so soul satisfying and you love enjoying the time and you can just be fully you. Can you do that with everybody in your life? And if you're not, there's a part of you that feels unsafe to be fully seen in that relationship because relationships pretty much shape who we are because they're always reflecting back to us. So just give yourself 2 minutes, if that, on that question. And so I trust that you've actually paused the video and completed that question. And the next one to follow up from that is, where am I still hiding? So you can share it, of course, in the chat, or you can send me an audio message. Love that. Through WhatsApp, you'll find me as well. So where am I still hiding? For me, I'm still hiding at times in my home because my home is my safe space and I absolutely love being in my home space. And sometimes I will stay here way too long and therefore then become hiding rather than getting out there more as I know I need to be. So where am I feeling unsafe for not going out there and doing that? And that's just for me. So where do I still feel unsafe to be fully seen? In what relationships and who with? And where am I still hiding? So where are you avoiding going and doing certain things in your life, which entail means that you're hiding? So pause, think about it. Where am I still hiding? Great. I know that you have paused and reflected. And we look at, of course, that was covering our key one. And I'm going to go into more depth with these things, but we're just going in and having a look. And these are times in our life right now, these moments to just do reflection. So the key number 2 is the mirror of our relationships. So our relationships, they mirror the parts of us that we've disowned. We're avoiding them. We push them under the carpet. We don't want to talk about them. Oh, we don't talk about that. No, not talking about that. No, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm not going there. I don't want to talk about that. I'll talk about that to a therapist, or I'll talk about that with a perfect stranger where I can just dump my story on. So our relationships mirror the parts of us that we've disowned, rejected, or hidden from ourselves. We've disowned a part of ourselves, we've rejected a part of ourselves, and we've hidden a part of ourselves. Sometimes we've done all 3, yet we don't even know that we're doing that when we're pushing something down, or we're not addressing it, or avoiding it, or we don't want to go there because it's too uncomfortable. You're disowning a part of you. Now, would you do that to someone that you love? Would you disown a part of them? Do you reject a part of them? Is there a hidden part of them that you just are never going to know? And that partner, that there's those things that you're saying yes to, you might have disowned a part of them, which is a habit. You might have rejected a part of them, which is their behavior. However, that is also within you. And our closest partners and our children and the people who are closest to us are going to show this. They're going to mirror this so well. And if you'd like to share a story, by all means do. Happy to hear them. And so this comes to where someone is mirroring something in me. So an example for me would be my daughter. And it comes down to helping. So I would be helping her uh, do something that she doesn't have to do. And then she would be, what are you doing that for, kind of thing. And then there's that rejection stuff that comes up. And I'm like going, well, what's going on here? What's the dynamic? What am I, disowning in that? And of course it's rejection. I'm going, oh, and I don't necessarily recognize the feeling, and then I do. And then I'm like, oh, it's rejection. So why am I it's mirroring that. What am I not liking about this moment's rejection? What do I not like about rejection? What does it make me feel? It might make me feel go into victimhood and feel like I'm not good enough and spark that trigger, rather than going, okay, I'm honoring what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. And for you, it means this, and I've got to have that understanding, rather than projecting it onto myself and then making myself the important part in the story instead of making her the important part of the story. So, what I'd like you to write down and know and answer is, who in my life triggers or challenges me? And so, therefore, what is it reflecting about me? So, my daughter definitely triggers and challenges me. But then I have friends who do the same thing. And once upon a time, I would have swept it under the carpet, or just, oh, well, yep, okay, I'll dismiss that feeling rather than honor it. So you've got to work out what are the triggers or challenge you, like, oh, that doesn't, I think I'll even disown my relationship with you because you've, said that or treated me a certain way, rather than actually looking in and reflecting about, okay, well, if I'm not liking that part of me, why am I liking that part of me? And if that part of me is doing this, how's it making me feel? Okay, where does it take me to? It takes me back to a memory of, and that memory is usually in childhood, and it's got to do with your worth or being safe or something like that. And as we work through with clients in my sessions, we ask these questions, and we can do this to and fro, because sometimes it can be harder to do it for yourself because you mightn't go deep enough. And this is where it's about that reflection. So it's good to get even just a surface level of awareness about this. And so what is it reflecting about you, and where does it bring you back to? What belief does it bring back to you? So what belief about myself am I still holding from this mirror? So they're showing me this, it's triggering this in me, it's challenging me. I really don't want to go there, but let's go there. What is it bringing up? Okay, I'm feeling this way. And when did I feel like this in my life before? Oh, it was then. How did I feel? Rejected, not good enough. Okay, so then I've got to honor that. So then it's about honoring that belief. Oh, when that person says that, then I'm going straight back to something that happened with my father or something that happened with my mother. And then I'm sort of making it have the same kind of meaning. So it's about healing yourself, going, oh, I'm actually safe in this moment. This is not that moment. And that I am good enough, and I am worthy. And thank you. Thank you for them being able to mirror and show back to you what it is that you need to still work on. We're constantly working on. And so, therefore, there is then the embodiment of your truth. So, you can't think your way into authenticity, you must also embody it. So, there's a gentle embodiment practice that you can actually do. And that is where you stand with, or sit with your feet on the ground. And you close your eyes, and you just sway your hips slowly. So I guess you're swaying your body if you're sitting in a certain way, but standing, of course, would be good for this one. So if you're swaying your hips slowly, reminds me of belly dancing, you invite movement. So we get some shoulders going while we're swaying our hips, two things at once. And we soften our neck, rolling the shoulders forward and back. And you're just sort of rolling your neck as well. And what I'd like you to do is you can just bring that movement in. So just keep some kind of movement. So if you're in a chair and you can't sway your hips, just sort of keep the shoulders going, or just doing something that feels a little bit central, but at the same time is provoking some kind of movement. And while we're doing that movement, as you've closed your eyes, I want you to picture your authentic self who is standing in front of you. And this could be your higher self. And I want you to just visualize and trust what comes up. So what is she wearing? How does she move? How does she look at you? And in this moment, what does she want you to know? And trust what comes up. A word, a picture, a sentence. And for me right now, I saw her walking. She was walking away. She turned around. She was walking tall, confident. And her message to me right then was, know me as I know you. And maybe you got something. Love to hear your comment. So just write down what she said to you. What was yours? It's quick, it's to the point. If you need to rewind the video and come back to that point and just play it again, then do so. And then, of course, you can stop the moving. So just know that every voice matters, even your higher self voice. A lot of the time we're not listening to it. Some of the time we're listening to it. Now it's about all of the time listening to it. Every story is sacred. So every conversation you have, there's diamonds in there, there's gold. And if you find yourself being triggered, challenged, avoiding, sidestepping whatever a person has said to you and not going there, then you are missing out on finding out the parts of you, of who you really are. And I want to thank you for sharing you if you have commented, chatted, or even sent me a message. So I'm hoping today gave you a little bit more fresh air. And I just want you to imagine right now, in 6 weeks' time, what this could feel like if you take these practices on. And what it would feel like to be a little bit more aware, a little bit more understanding of who you are. You know, is it going to be beneficial for you in some way? And if you'd like to work closely with me to do that, I'm pretty sure you know the drill. There's going to be a button that you can press. So what I'd like you to do as we come to the wrapping up is just put your hands over your heart. We take a nice deep breath and out. And at any time that challenges or triggers come up, this is a good affirmation. And that is, I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be me. That's it. Take a deep breath in. And you say it again. I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be me. And always thank yourself for choosing you at any moment, especially today, when you show up at doing a little bit more work on finding and remembering who you are. And on that note, we will convene at another time. And I do hope that you have gained a tiny bit more insight on yourself today. And just so that you know, my next Unmask is about mind loops. So if you've ever catch yourself stuck in a mind loop, then this is another one to have a listen to. So it's that feeling when your thoughts keep circling the same track. It's like being on a videotape, the same track. So things like, why did they say that? It keeps your mind looping. What if I don't have enough? Again, looping. Should I have done that differently? Sets you off in a mind loop. Mind looping is like a cage disguised as thinking. I really like that one. Your brain tries to solve something that it can't actually solve by thinking alone. So it just keeps spinning, which is mind looping. So the truth about that is that loops are not truth. Loops are not intuition going round and round. Loops are unprocessed energy replaying itself until you remember you are more than your thoughts. So when you catch yourself in the loop, you've got to pause, breathe, place your hand on your body, which creates embodiment, and say to yourself that this is just a loop. I choose to step out of the spin and into the present. So I choose to step out of the loop and into the presence because it's not doing you any good. Because the moment you notice that you're in a loop, you already hold the key to unlock it. So you are not your looping mind. You are the consciousness that can shift the frequency. And from there, creation opens. So that's what we're going to address as loops and go forth into life, seeing what triggers you, seeing what challenges you, seeing what's mirrored back to you in your relationships. And then come back when we do Unmask again, and we're going to go into more on mind looping. All right, bye for now, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful time ahead of you.